Hello everyone, today we are breaking down Season 1, Episode 5, Bottled Appetites of The Witcher. The timeline of this episode changes a little bit from the last, so let's say Ciri is in the present timeline, Yennefer and Geralt's timeline is about 13 years before that. The first thing we see is a man with a collection of body parts. He also likes to look at himself naked in the mirror. Cahir, the Nilfgaard knight who kidnapped Ciri from the first episode, appears. Through their conversation, we figure out that the naked man is actually a Doppler. A Doppler is a shapeshifter who can take the form of anyone or any beast they have encountered, provided it has a similar body weight to them. A Doppler in its natural form is pretty ugly. When shapeshifting, they take on the complete appearance of the subject, swords and all, and know everything they know. Their weakness, however, is silver. Cahir holds up a piece of silver just as the Doppler is about to attack. If they come into contact with silver, they will go back into their natural form. Cahir hires the Doppler to perform an assassination for Nilfgaard. We then see Fringilla, who is the sorceress of Nilfgaard at this time, escorting Mousak, who is being transported in a cell of Dimeridium. Dimeridium is a special sort of metal which suppresses magical powers. Most of the time, Dimeridium is made into shackles, making the prisoners unable to use magic. This is just a more extreme version of that. The two talk and Mousak says, "I know how you were schooled, how you were shaped. This isn't who you are." Fringilla replies, "The white flame made me who I am, gave me a higher purpose." The white flame she is referring to is the Emperor of Nilfgaard. It is just another name for him. Fringilla says you could have had that too, if only you realized that Sintra had to fall. They will discuss why Sintra had to fall in the seasons to come, so I won't say anything about it. We then see why they needed a Doppler. The Doppler transforms into Mousak and then kills the real one. Before Mousak dies, he says they don't know what she is, meaning Ciri. They don't know how powerful she is. He doesn't think they know about her elder blood. Elder blood pretty much means you are a descendant of Laura Dorns, an elven sorceress, and that you possess powerful magic because of that. And right now she doesn't know how to control that power, making her dangerous. From the previous episode, they know that Ciri is in the Brokilon forest, but they can't set an army there because it would cause a lot of casualties. The Brokilon forest is full of traps and creatures and is also being guarded by the Dryads. So their best way to get to Ciri is to send a familiar face. That is why they enlisted the help of the Doppler. Cahir tells the Doppler to bring Ciri back alive, meaning that they have special plans for the girl. We then find ourselves with Yennefer at a magical shop, not having enough coin to buy what she needs. We find out that Yennefer is no longer advising kings and is off the grid. She is no longer bound by the rules of the Brotherhood. But with freedom, there is a price. She no longer has the resources that were readily available to her when she was part of the Brotherhood. This could be items used for elixirs or coin itself. The shopkeep tells her, "Lucky for you, you found your way to an intolerant kingdom. For quick coin, head to the nearest town in any direction." From the books, we know that magic is being taxed heavily in this kingdom, and many mages have boycotted coming to the kingdom, meaning there is not a lot of competition in the market for mages, giving Yennefer a monopoly and allowing her to make a lot of coin quickly. Yennefer does exactly what the shopkeep told her, and she has quite a booming business, with a long line for her services. The sign posted on her door says, "Correctives quite effective, whatever the objective." Yennefer helps a couple. The man can't get an erection. She casts a spell making him hard as a rock. In the books, she actually uses a spell on Geralt a couple of times. Just a random fact for ya. Anyways, Mayor Beauberant enters the establishment and says, "Perhaps you are not aware of the rules here. If you are casting spells, I need to collect what's due to the kingdom." Yennefer does not like those rules and says they're rather shit. The mayor cuffs her and imprisons her. We then find ourselves with Geralt and Jaskier. The two haven't seen each other for a while. Jaskier saying, "What's it been? Months? Years? What is time, anyways?" Giving us really no way to know exactly how long ago it's been since Pavetta and Dooney's marriage, except for the timeline Netflix has given us. Geralt appears to be fishing and Jaskier is hoping to share the fish with Geralt. But Geralt is not fishing. He tells Jaskier he can't sleep, which confuses Jaskier even more. Then Geralt tells him he is looking for a Jinn. A Jinn is a powerful creature capable of great feats. When someone opens the Jinn's bottle, they are bound to that person and have to fulfill 3 wishes. When wishing, you have to be very precise in your wording, or the wish could bring something unintended. A Jinn cannot kill its master, which is important later in the episode. Jaskier mocks Geralt for this, finding it ridiculous. Geralt blows up at him, saying it will grant me 3 wishes and I can't fucking sleep! Jaskier believes Geralt's whole sleeplessness has got something to do with what the druid Mousak told him in Sintra. The whole law of surprise, destiny, being unable to escape the child that belongs to you. Geralt says that's not it, even though it clearly is. With a Jinn, Geralt could wish for anything. He could wish he wasn't a Witcher. He could wish away the law of surprise. The two find the bottle of the Jinn. The two fight over it, opening the bottle. Jaskier believes he is the Jinn's master, spouting out a bunch of wishes. Geralt believes this as well. Geralt says he just wants some damn peace, and Jaskier begins to choke and spitting out blood. Jaskier is saying it is the Jinn who is doing this to him. We then see a scratch on Geralt's arm, believing it was from the cracked bottle he was picking up. But in actuality, it was from the Jinn, symbolizing how many wishes Geralt has made. Geralt is the Jinn's master. Geralt wanted peace, so the Jinn made it so Jaskier could no longer talk. The two still believe Jaskier is the master of the Jinn throughout the episode. Geralt jumps on his horse with Jaskier to go and get the bard some help. Geralt brings him to an elven healer, Círdan. Círdan can help with the pain but not cure the affliction, because it is magic based. They need a magical remedy. If they do not find one soon, the effect could be irreversible and could also lead to death. However, Círdan informs them that they will have to go to the next town over. There is no mage in the town since the tax has been implemented, but Geralt knows he's hiding something. Círdan tells them that there is only one mage, and she has been captured by the mayor and is currently being held prisoner in his house. Círdan still advises Geralt to go elsewhere, as the mage is very powerful and malicious, and also quite cunning. Geralt doesn't care, and heads towards the mayor's house. The mage Círdan speaks of is Yennefer. We return to Yennefer doing her makeup when Tissaia drops in on her. It turns out Tissaia hasn't seen Yennefer since the Sorceress Ball in episode 3, when Yennefer was able to maneuver her way to Adrian's court instead of Nilfgaard. Tissaia tells Yennefer that Fringilla has thrived in Nilfgaard since the rightful ruler has returned, and how that could have been Yennefer instead of Fringilla. Yennefer was able to remain hidden from the Brotherhood for a while, but Tissaia says she is making a lot of noise in search of a solution to her problem. Yennefer wishes to bear children, and she is hiring mages to help cure her infertility. It won't help her, however. Tissaia says, "You are pure chaos right now. You want a cure, and it's making you sloppy. Actively going against the agenda of the Brotherhood will make you a target." She also says there is no cure. Yennefer knew the cost of enchantment, so everything Yennefer is doing right now, all the coin she has spent, is all for naught. Yennefer refuses to believe Tissaia, however, insisting that the continent is big, and just because she doesn't know of a cure doesn't mean there isn't one. Tissaia offers Yennefer a chance to return to the Brotherhood, but Yennefer refuses, suspecting that Tissaia only wants Yennefer to thrive so long as she has a hand in it. Tissaia swears that's not true. Tissaia just wants to see Yennefer be successful, as any good teacher would want from her students. And Tissaia is more than just a teacher to Yennefer, almost like a mother. Tissaia is willing to forgive her for all the things she has done, meaning she does care for Yennefer and wants the best for her. Yennefer doesn't see it that way though, and asks Tissaia to leave. We return to Geralt and Jaskier. They just got to the mayor's house when a guard stops them and tells Geralt to pay a fee. Geralt knocks out the guard swiftly and enters the house. Geralt and Jaskier find that the mayor is naked. He was sent by Yennefer to bring her apple juice. The mayor says, and she always gets what she wants. The mayor's acting very strange since the first encounter he had with Yennefer, suggesting that Yennefer has most likely put him in a trance, allowing her to do whatever she wants. The mayor falls asleep and Geralt grabs the juice and Jaskier to look for Yennefer. They head into a room where a massive orgy is happening. Geralt sees Yennefer on the way back, just overlooking the festivities. This is the first time these two characters meet. Geralt and Yennefer start their conversation with some light flirting. Yennefer has never seen a Witcher up close before and is interested in Geralt's abilities. Geralt tells her that Jaskier was attacked by a Jinn and he needs her help to cure him. Geralt also says he is willing to pay whatever the price. This gets the attention of Yennefer. She looks like she has other plans than just curing the bard, however. We find out the extent of those plans later in the episode. She says ragamuffin, which ends the trance on the people involved in the orgy, who appear to have no clue where they are and why they are naked. Yennefer cures the bard and puts him in a deep healing sleep. While he is sleeping, she insists that Geralt should bathe, saying, "I can not only guess the age and breed of your horse, but also its color by the smell." Geralt agrees to this because she did save one of his dear friends. Geralt tells her the story of how all this happened. Yennefer finds it to be very extreme to look for a Jinn to help with insomnia. Geralt is worried that he won't be able to pay for her services, as he did say whatever the price. Yennefer jumps into the tub with Geralt sitting back to back. The two find that they have some stuff in common, both having awful childhoods. Yennefer having deformities and having her father abuse her, and Geralt being given to the Witchers and going through the grueling trials that only 3 out of 10 people survive. Geralt remarks how Yennefer is capitalizing on the political situation in the kingdom. Yennefer says it's because she wants to help the townspeople, not because of the money. Geralt knows there is more to the story than that, and Yennefer knows that Geralt wasn't looking for a Jinn to help with sleep. Yennefer tells Geralt that his company and conversation is payment enough. Geralt immediately leaves the tub. Geralt heads up to the room where Jaskier is sleeping. He doesn't trust Yennefer, wondering what she is up to, what her plan is. Geralt said some nasty things to Jaskier before releasing the Jinn, and he doesn't want that to be the last thing Jaskier remembers of him. Geralt would never admit it, but Jaskier is one of his only friends, and he does care for the bard. Yennefer assures him that Jaskier will make a full recovery, but that does not satisfy Geralt. Geralt then sees the seal from the Jinn bottle and the sign on it. It is the same sign Yennefer has put on the floor. Geralt figures out that Yennefer is trying to capture the Jinn, and she needs Jaskier to make his last wish to capture it. The Jinn will fight her, but she does not seem to care. But unfortunate for her, the Jinn's master is not Jaskier, it's Geralt, making capturing it almost impossible. Geralt would have most likely tried to stop her from doing this, but she puts him under a spell, and he is overtaken by the sudden smell of lilac and gooseberries. Yennefer kisses him, and he is under her control. Geralt awakes in a jail cell, greeted by the elven healer, Círdan. Círdan tells Geralt all that he did while under Yennefer's spell. He pulled a pawnbroker out of his shop and kicked him in the delicate places. Then he dragged a shopkeep into the street, pulled down his pants, and thrashed his arse with a belt. Both are on the city council, and both wanted Yennefer gone, so Yennefer had Geralt get some revenge on her behalf. Círdan said he tried to stop Geralt, but the guards thought he was abetting him, so he was also thrown in jail. Their sentence will be decided upon by the city council, who Geralt just beat up, so death is almost certain. Círdan is mad at Geralt for going to Yennefer even after his warning. Geralt believes that the elf is under her spell. Círdan says he is not. It's just a simple issue of body chemistry. Geralt figures out that Círdan is in love with her. Círdan replies, "And I think perhaps you may understand me," suggesting that Geralt is also in love with the sorceress. A guard walks in, and unlucky for Geralt, it is the guard he knocked out when entering the mayor's house. The guard beats the crap out of the defenseless Witcher. Geralt can do nothing because he is chained up. The guard asks Geralt if he has any last words. Geralt says, "I want you to burst, you son of a whore!" A wind comes up, and we can hear faint whispers. The guard's head explodes. Círdan realizes that Geralt is the one with the wishes, not Jaskier. Geralt gets another scratch on his arm, symbolizing that the second wish has been fulfilled. We return to Yennefer, and she is drawing some symbols on her stomach. Jaskier awakes to find a half-naked Yennefer in his bed. He asks if they had sex, but Jaskier quickly realizes that is not the case. Yennefer holds him against the wall and threatens him to make a wish unless he wants to lose some parts. Jaskier makes his wish and Yennefer starts chanting to summon the Jinn. Jaskier runs out of the building where he meets Geralt. He tells Geralt what Yennefer is doing. Geralt then realizes that Yennefer wants to become the vessel for the Jinn, which would make her more powerful, but if she goes through with it, she will die. Even if she fails to capture it, Jinns are vengeful beings. It would kill her, then escape. Jaskier is perfectly fine with this and suggests the two should leave. Geralt has other plans, however, and runs into the building. He says it is because she saved Jaskier. Geralt cannot let her die. But it probably has more to do with how he feels for Yennefer, how he loves her. They never explain why Yennefer will be more powerful from absorbing the Jinn in the series, but they do in the books. So when mages use magic, they have to draw their powers from the forces of nature. There are 4 forces: air, fire, water, and earth. Like the forces, there are 4 types of Jinns: air, fire, water, and earth. So if a Jinn is absorbed, it can be used by the mage as a living reservoir of magical energy. So a mage would not have to draw from the force of nature, the genie does it for them. The power of such a mage is enormous, close to godlike. Geralt enters the room where Yennefer is. Yennefer doesn't understand how the Jinn is getting more powerful. The bard used his last wish. It should be getting weaker. Geralt explains that he's the one with the wishes. Yennefer says to say the last wish. Geralt explains that becoming the Jinn's vessel will have Yennefer lose control and not gain it. He's trying to talk her out of becoming the vessel. The Jinn is already controlling and contorting her body. Yennefer says that true transformation is painful, which she obviously knows from her enchantment at Aretuza. Geralt offers his last wish to Yennefer if she releases the Jinn. Yennefer says, "You heroic, protector, noble dog, permitting me success so long as you command it yourself." This has been a theme throughout the episode. Yennefer refused to Syazel because she believed it was because she wanted to take credit for Yennefer's success. Now she's doing the same thing with Geralt. Yennefer wants to be the reason why she succeeds. She wants all the credit. Also, Tissaia mentions how she has been getting sloppy while looking for a cure for her infertility. She's not thinking clearly, being arrogant about her power, believing she is capable of anything. Yennefer tells Geralt he could have anything he wants. Riches, fame. He could wish he wasn't a Witcher, anything. Geralt makes the wish. It is kept a secret from the audience. The Jinn leaves with no explanation. Yennefer doesn't understand why it left. The house collapses on the two of them. Yennefer is able to teleport her and Geralt to the basement before they were crushed by the debris. Yennefer blames Geralt for the Jinn's escape and the havoc it will cause. Geralt tells her that Jinns are only dark creatures when they are held captive. The two argue a bit more and then they proceed to have sex. After the act came to its natural conclusion, Yennefer asks Geralt what he wished for. Geralt does not reveal it, but we can speculate what it is. In the books, it is never revealed either, but Yennefer actually hears what Geralt wishes for, saying, "Your wish. I don't know whether such a wish can be fulfilled. I don't know whether such a force in nature could fulfill such a wish. But if there is, then you condemned yourself to me." Some people believe Geralt wished for Yennefer to love him, which that could be it. But the more popular theory is that Geralt wished for his fate to be bounded to Yennefer's. This makes the most sense. That is the reason why the Jinn left without killing Yennefer. As I said earlier, a Jinn cannot kill its master, which is Geralt. Geralt wishing for their fates to be tied together protected Yennefer from the Jinn's wrath. And their chaotic on-again, off-again relationship begins. We then find ourselves in the Brokilon forest with the Dryads. They are discussing what they should do with Ciri. From Shunkayan, the tree Ciri drank from last episode, they found out Ciri was lying about who she is and her past. Queen Eithne is for letting Ciri stay amongst them and turning her into a Dryad. One of the Dryad generals says she is not one of us, and Ciri possesses the power of a weapon, meaning her elder blood. Queen Eithne says they can mold her here at Brokilon. That maybe Ciri is the only way to save their people. Some Dryads come then with the heads of Nilfgaard's spies, who were around the border of the forest. This means Nilfgaard will come for the girl, it's just a matter of time. Queen Eithne says Ciri can stay, which makes some of the Dryads upset. The Dryad general storms off. Ciri is watching the entire time but doesn't understand Elder Speech. Queen Aithne tells Ciri, "The Sword of Destiny has two edges. You can stay or you can continue your search," which is a tough decision for Ciri. You're at a place where Dara and Queen Aithne want you to stay, where it's safe. Or, the other side of the sword, you can continue your search for a man you've never met and walk into the dangerous outside world where men and beasts alike can kill you. Sometime later, we see the Doppler disguised as Mousesack reach the Brokilon Forest to get Ciri. Queen Aithne protests Mousesack, saying she has chosen to stay with us. But the Doppler, having all of Mousesack's knowledge, tells the Dryads that the child is promised to Geralt of Rivia through the Law of Surprise. Even the Dryads recognize how powerful the Law of Surprise is. Ciri and Queen Aithne have an emotional goodbye. Ciri, Dara, and Mousesack leave the forest together. This is probably the biggest difference from the show to the books this season. In the books, Ciri entering the Brokilon Forest actually happens before the fall of Cintra. She runs away from a proposed marriage. Ciri gets lost in the Brokilon Forest, and Geralt is actually the one who finds her accidentally. Geralt doesn't even know who she is for most of the chapter. This is where the two first meet. They meet Queen Aithne together, and they both leave the forest together. Mousesack finds Geralt and Ciri together, and Geralt leaves Ciri with Mousesack. As Geralt rides away, Ciri yells at him, saying, "I'm your destiny, Geralt. You can't run away." I really like this chapter in the books. It showed the bond these two characters have and how destiny is pushing them together, even if Geralt is trying to ignore destiny. But I get why the show did what it did, not wanting to jump around the timeline even more. What'd you guys think of episode 5? Leave it down in the comments below, and if you want more Witcher content, please subscribe and check out the Twitter, link in the description below, and as always, have an awesome day.